Every day he's in jail as the Americans are going yet.
Our mate!
Julian Assange! Only one decision!
No extradition!
There is only one decision!
No extradition!
Free! Free!
Julian Assange!
Free! Free!
Julian Assange!
Inmate!
Our mate!
Julian Assange! Thank you! Good on you.
On Wednesday the 5th of January, it was the 1000-day anniversary of Julian Assange being in jail. He's committed no crime in Australia or the UK or anywhere else for that matter. Obama refused to charge Julian with any crime, as this would be an attack on free press everywhere. Trump did charge Julian, but Julian only did what good journalists do. He published information that was given to him by whistleblowers. He was given numerous journalism awards for his work, including a Walkley. Biden continues the attack on journalism by refusing to drop the charges and continuing with the extradition proceedings against Julian Assange. It's un-Australian to watch our citizen being attacked by a world superpower and do nothing about it. A few days ago, Dean Yates wrote that he failed to get the facts right when writing about Julian Assange. He had the courage and the intelligence to write that. Dean Yates was bureau chief for Reuters news service in Baghdad when an Apache gunship killed 12 people, including 2 Reuters staff. WikiLeaks had hundreds of thousands of documents it received from Chelsea Manning, and Assange went to extraordinary lengths to publish them in a responsible and redacted manner. That was said in a lower UK court. WikiLeaks held back information. They approached the White House before releasing material. They held back publication of 15,000 documents to safeguard harm minimisation. Even after media partners, The Guardian, New York Times and Der Spiegel published, the redaction of the Iraq War Diaries was painstakingly approached and involved the development of special redaction software. At Chelsea Manning's court-martial in 2013, Brigadier General Robert Carr testified that his team of 120 counterintelligence officers could not find a single person killed in Afghanistan or Iraq because of the disclosures. The US has jeopardised the lives of Iraq's entire 25 million people with an illegal and reckless invasion based on the lies that Saddam Hussein possessed weapons of mass destruction. Civilians and service personnel have lost lives, while their lives have been changed forever and damaged by the wars conducted by the coalition of the willing. The US brazenly misrepresents the facts in the case against Julian with the blessing of successive Australian governments. We need to make the destruction of our citizen the focus of the next election. We need to put our own citizen ahead of the careers of Australian politicians who bow and scrape to the wants of foreign nations. We need to free our mate, Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Julian Assange! I'm free Julian Assange! Hey, do you want to hold this? Thank you.
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Okay, I say inmate, you say our mate, and I say Julian Assange, right? Inmate!
Outmate!
Julian Assange! Now you go inmate.
Inmate!
Our mate.
Julian Assange!
Inmate.
Outmate! Outmate!
Julian Assange!
Inmate!
No, inmate.
Inmate!
Our mate.
Julian Assange!
Inmate.
Outmate!
Julian Assange!
Inmate!
Our mate.
Julian Assange!
Yes! Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You see this camera here? That's on YouTube. See where it says YouTube? Gong Steve. If you look on YouTube and do Gong Steve next week, you'll see yourself.
Just get two and take one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you can keep that.
They're going up into this portico now. This is the 111th week of consecutive Julian Assange Sydney Town Hall gatherings. Julian is being cruelly punished by corrupt authorities in the UK because he dared to reveal the corruption of the powerful. Julian's journalism has helped many people to realise their distrust of governments and mainstream media is well founded. Many people now know that our governments and media are so corrupt, our system is incapable of recovery from within. Many have said that the way to hold our governments to account is through unity and mass non-compliance. Unfortunately, what we have seen is a trend in the opposite direction. What we see in practice is mass compliance. How can this be? How can it be that people are so ready to comply with the nonsensical dictates of corrupt governments? Part of the problem has to do with our beliefs about the rest of the population. We have put too much faith in media, even though we can admit that it doesn't truthfully inform us. It is likely that only a minority of people blindly believe mainstream narratives. It may only be a minority who have blind faith in the news media, but many other people are tricked into believing that the gullibility of the minority extends to the majority. The mainstream media are relentless in assuring us that this is true, but we must remember that Julian Assange has demonstrated irrefutably that the mainstream media cannot be trusted. Julian stated that the media in general are so bad we have to question whether we wouldn't be better off without them altogether. He went on to say that the media are so distortive of how the world actually is that the result is we see wars and we see corrupt governments continue on. We can also see that the media have allowed the torture of Julian to take place, offering barely a word in protest. This shows us that we must distrust everything the media tells us. We must also do something about it. Julian has now spent 1,000 days in prison, being tortured. For most of that time, he has been held in solitary confinement. The US, UK and Australia show a united front in supporting this outright criminal persecution. It is overwhelmingly obvious that we all need to come together and stand up to our corrupt governments. We must stop listening to the mainstream media that manipulate people day after day. We must make a stand for our right to know the truth. We must make a stand for human decency, and we must make a stand for the human rights of a journalist who has made it possible for us to be truthfully informed. Julian Assange is a hero for everything he has done to bring us the truth. But he is more than that. Julian represents the decency of humanity. If we want human decency to play a role in our lives, we must act. Time is running out. Totalitarianism is on the rise. We must stop being informed by the mainstream media and realise we can unite, and each of us can make a difference. Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Thank you.
We are all Assange.